the music has powers that we don't really speak on a lot in terms of like the frequencies and things like that. But like healing frequencies, you can do that through music, and you can manifest through music. 900 was it 963 hertz? You can manifest. Like you really can use sound and vibration. Vibration, I feel like, is a key to a door. Like it can do so many things. 128 hertz can actually heal tissue. So if you think about it like that, like it can really manifest in the physical that way. What's to say that we can't find a certain frequency that can open up a new portal to a new world? Mind over matter is magic. I do magic. Don't need more, no, no. Mind over matter is magic. I do magic. Don't need more, no, no. Mind over matter is magic. I do magic. Don't need more, you think about it. Mind over matter is magic. I do magic.
Yeah. I'm a little tired, y'all. That's all y'all getting out of me. Welcome to Mind Over Matter, baby. I'm your host, Deja Wallace, and I have the lovely
Destiny
Lewis Saint. I'm giving them your whole government. Find her on the socials.
Please don't.
And I have another lovely guest with me in the building.
What's up? J Vic.
J Vic in the building.
Intro. I thought I was gonna get my name said too. I was like,
I'm gonna give you a little intro. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about
J Vic. What's
J
going on?
Vic. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Episode Big 80 of Mind Over Matter, baby. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. If this is not, welcome back. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. You really came back to listen to another episode. Like, I really appreciate you. Like for real. Like we locked in for real. Episode 80, we're going to be talking about music. Simple, right? I thought it was going to be something crazy. Like, we talking about music. We have the vibe curator himself, J Vic in the building. So he's an Afro House DJ, founder, owner of Descendants
of Sound.
Descendants of Sound. Let me get it right. Sorry.
Yes.
Got it in my notes. Let me make sure I get everything right. So, yeah. Just explain to the people what you do. What is Afro House? And yeah, we're coming fresh off of the Descendants sound experience.
Yes.
So we're a little tired from that, but it was a time. We had a time.
I'm glad y'all made it out and stayed and rocked with me last night. I hope y'all really enjoyed it and caught the vibe. I had a great time last night.
Yeah.
It was great seeing y'all there. It was great seeing a lot of people that came through. I play Afro House music, Afro tech. But I always like to incorporate my roots. I'm come from Guyanese roots, so you're gonna hear Soca in there. You're gonna hear hip hop in there. You're gonna hear R&B in there. You're gonna hear everything in there. I mean,
combination.
Last night, I don't know if you guys heard that first mix I dropped, but I had Throat Baby on in an Afro House mix. Like it was like, I kind of try to incorporate stuff that you kind of understand with some new stuff you've never heard before. Because I really feel like it's important to give people. Don't want to force Afro House down people's throats. I feel like, I just saw a post recently from Lenny Kravitz, and he was talking about he feels like a lot of people just don't give him a lot of credit or give the music he makes a lot of a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the same response that he gets when people say, "Why are you playing that white people music?" And it's like, house music is our music first and foremost. Understand that we created house music. Like it started in Detroit by us. Like it was ours first. And then it got appropriated, and then it became something where it's like, if you're doing that, you're pandering to that other crowd. But it's ours first and foremost. But before that, I feel like Afro House and Afro Tech is the music that our ancestors left for us. I had come from this really strong belief that our ancestors are way more technologically advanced than we are.
I believe it.
I feel like our ancestors have escaped this planet eons ago and found, whatever. And but they were the originators here. They built the pyramids. They built great
Yeah.
cities and all that. And
Yeah.
people are like in shock and awe, and they're trying to figure out what it is.
Exactly.
The truth is, they're scared to see who we are and say who we are. But I feel like powers that be know it already. They're just trying to hide that and whatever.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. I don't want to
It's
get
funny
deep into
because
conspiracy, but
I never really like knew what Afro House was until like I met you.
yeah,
I never really paid attention to it. If I did hear Afro House and I wasn't introduced to it the way that you introduced it to me, I would have thought it was some white people shit.
yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, it's really our music. I mean, you hear it in Afro House. Like, it's got the bass in it. It's got the drums in it.
Mhm.
It's really ours. Like, it's really, really ours. And if you really sit there and listen to it and connect, you could feel it. Like, you feel those vibrations in that music, and it hits you different. Like, it can take you to a different place.
Mhm.
The music has powers that we don't really speak on a lot in terms of like the frequencies and things like that. But like healing frequencies, you can do that through music, and you can manifest through music. 900 was it 963 hertz? You can manifest. Like, you really can use sound and vibration. Vibration, I feel like, is a key to a
Mhm.
door. Like, it can do so many things. 128 hertz can actually heal tissue. So if you think about it like that, like, it can really manifest in the physical that way. What's to say that we can't find a certain frequency that can open up a new portal to a new world or
Mhm.
to something. And there's so much to explore here. And we're really, I don't even know for myself, like, I'm getting into this and really trying to get a better understanding of this. But Afro House, I found, has been the best kind of music, the best way for me to express the way I feel, the best way to me to take a listener on a journey and create a vibe and create a space that you're going to feel safe, especially for our people, where you're going to feel safe, create this vibe, take you on this
Mhm.
journey, but also feel like you're going to connect to your ancestors.
Mhm.
I really feel like our ancestors been trying to speak to us for the longest while, and those messages have been blocked. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, when we were taken from our native land, they took our language and they took our religion and
In
they took
music.
our families, and they tried to take our music,
They
but they
tried.
couldn't
They
take our
tried.
rhythm though. They
Yep.
couldn't take our rhythm.
Yeah.
They can't take that away from us. So if
Mhm.
you connect to the one thing we know we still have, like, we have that, and at least we know we have that. We can connect. Our ancestors will speak to us through that. And I feel
Mhm.
like it's part of my calling is to connect us, be that conduit, like, connect us to our ancestors the best way I can, because I know I feel the connection to my ancestors. So
Mhm.
I create these experiences where I want people to come in and really get a chance to form that connection for themselves and like feel that. So as you saw last night, like, it's really important for y'all to come in and feel like it's a safe space and you felt comfortable in there. Like, I want to make sure that we attack all the
Mhm.
senses,
Yeah.
and you're in there and you got the smells and the sounds and the feelings and the
Yeah.
vibrations and everything. And so all that stuff is
I've
connected.
never experienced anything like that.
It was
Like,
the incense for me.
like how did let's really set the stage. Like, we went in, like, how many times do you go into a club and they use incense to like and sage, and like they're so intentional about clearing the space before they even start
And that's
the
big because if
yeah.
you even think about like spiritually what they say about liquor and being in environments like clubbing and the
Mhm.
music that they do play and how it basically transport you into like a different realm, like you're not yourself, especially when you're drunk and you're at the club and you listening to a whole bunch of ratchet music. Now you're embodying what you're hearing and it's
Yeah.
not you, it's
Yeah.
that spirit. So to
Yeah.
understand that and then to
Mhm.
also see how intentional it was to be in a space where you're in an environment where your spirit is safe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's generally that's where we're trying to come at it, where people can come in and your spirit is, you can really be free
Yeah.
to be yourself. But also, I want you to leave out better than you came in. I want you to leave out with a better attitude, a better emotion, like, but feeling better emotionally
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
spiritually than you did when you came in.
I can say it from experience, being that we did do it yesterday, and I had my own things that I've been going through past 24 hours, literally, I definitely do feel like I'm in a way, like, I'm so happy today.
I'm
Aw.
grateful. Thank you.
Like,
Yeah, that's
like,
great.
even I've had moments in my day where it's like, I could have been dwelling negatively, or I could have reacted negatively and allowed somebody to take that power over me. But I'm like, nah, I had a
You're
great
good.
week.
You're
Like,
good,
Mhm.
right?
I'm feeling
Yeah,
good.
He's the vibe curator. Like he
Okay,
lived
like
up to the
the point.
literally.
That's the
name.
point. I really feel like it's something we can, little by little, we end up changing the world if more people just got into this. And I'm not saying you got to come to exactly come to my events.
Just be
Find Afro
open.
House. Be
Yeah.
open to finding Afro House events
Mhm.
and finding music that's outside of what you normally listen to. Um,
Mhm. How do you feel about the Andre 3000 album?
I love it. It's great. It was a great album. Obviously, I am a hip hop fan, so I mean, I'm
Mhm.
still a hip hop fan, and you miss Andre. He's a legend, and you want to hear him spit some bars, whatever. But at the end of the day, he made music that he knew he wanted to release for
Yeah.
himself, but he also was like, if I'm feeling this, I know a lot of other people need this, and he gave us healing frequencies
Yeah.
Yeah.
throughout that whole album. Like he
Yeah.
really gave us
She
what
said
we
she cried
needed.
to it.
I did a
It's
couple of times.
it's beautiful.
And
I
I'm
mean,
proud.
but
It's funny because they say people who like ridicule it like too harshly and like turn that shit off. It's
Those
kind
are
of
the
like
demons.
it's kind of like musical stage in a way.
yeah, it is.
The
It
people who
is.
don't like it are the demons. Mhm.
Let me tell
They're the
you,
problem.
they're having a hard time breaking through, and you're gonna
Agreed.
come across people like that. That are gonna be like, those are the same people like, oh, that's white people shit. I ain't with that. But they
Mhm.
want to listen to the music that the white people told them they had to listen to,
Mm.
that run the industry.
But why is it that it's like, because it doesn't have lyrics, it's automatically deemed white people music? Like, for me personally, I don't take that from those types of music.
Can I be honest? I feel like anything that's this music puts you in a different spirit, in a different place. Like, and for it's so sad to know that people feel like any music that does that to you is bad.
Just like if you talk
Yeah, that's
properly,
true.
Wild,
if you
That's
yeah.
speak
true.
properly,
If you
you're
speak properly, you
automatically.
talking white.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You know what I'm saying? Like
It's like anything that's
white.
healing,
Yeah,
they
that's good
always
for
try to
you.
downgrade it. Like that's
Yeah.
But it be your own people.
That's
It
a
be your own
fact.
people doing
They
that
be the
shit.
main ones.
Like it's really not. It's one of those things where it's like, unless you're going to the church, which they have their own music and everything like that, and that upsets you one way, and you feel lifted in the spirit
Praise
that way.
dancing.
Praise dancing, things like that. Like, unless you're doing that, you're not going to get that in our community. That's the only way you could do it.
True.
But for some people, the church may be a little bit too restricting for their
Mhm.
lifestyle, but they still deserve that healing.
Yes.
Mm.
They still deserve that. I think it's important to mention that, there are people in the church who just don't like meditation. They say meditation is the devil.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
Yeah.
yep.
honestly, there are people who say stuff like that too. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like selfish. And
yeah, it's crazy
Yeah.
to me to
Yeah.
think that people think that way, but it's like, for us as a people, we really have to take the time to like find and explore these ways to find our own healing
Yeah.
avenues. And so I always try to take people to get this understanding. Like, if you listen to rap music, just listen to rap music. Listen to your favorite song. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with rap music. I love rap music, but I understand it to a certain point where I have to keep it at, and I put it in my music. And just because when I want you there, I want you to feel comfortable, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of what you know. But there also is some messages. I always sample a part of that message that you can use
Yeah.
Mhm.
for the positive. But when you listen to rap music, I want you to pay attention to your facial
Mm.
your facial expression
Mm.
and what your body does
Mm.
and how tense you get, and your fists ball up, and you sitting here, you rapping like this, and
You know what's funny? I
and you doing
I
that.
think often back to like a time in high school where it would be like a bunch of like, little project kids that would come to the school, and they would like, it would be 7:30 in the morning, and they listening to like Chicago drill rap. They're listening to like,
Oh my God.
and it's like, it's 7:30 in the morning. This is what you're listening
Gang banging
to.
on
I can
bacon,
see
like, yeah.
why
Wake
you are
up
so
and-
problematic.
It's
I can
it's
see why you're such a
stimulated
problematic
off
kid.
the wake up and
We all know that one kid in school that just mad
thinking
ghetto
about
and
that
just
But
bumping
aggravating.
music,
If
just
you-
don't care.
if you
what time it
start your
is.
day that way, And if you start your day that
Yep.
way and it affects your mood from the time you wake up, the rest of your day is
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
that shit like
shit.
that. And the
Exactly.
Yeah.
rest of your week is gonna
Exactly.
be like that. And your month and your life
Talking
is
about
gonna be like that.
murdering
You know what's so
people at
crazy?
6 a.m.
I think I was reading something. Yes, I was reading that Joel Osteen book, not to promote him, but it's a part in the book that he talks about how a guy, I guess he must have people send him letters. So basically a guy, he would listen to every day for work. He's an older man. He listens to the radio. But what he's listening to the radio is the news. So every day he's listening to the news to get to work. Now while he's at work, every time his coworkers are interacting with him, he's very agitated. And they don't understand why he has this
Mhm.
expression when they're interacting with him because he just came from work. I mean, he's just coming to work. So I guess Joel insinuates for him, like, what are you doing? How do you start your day? He was like, well, when I drive to work, I'm listening to the news. He was like, what are you listening to? And he's like, politics. But the politics that he's listening to, he's so passionate about it that it affects him. And he's like, you have to think about that. Like, you're starting your day like that, then you're interacting with people and they feeling this energy that you don't even know you're coming to work with every day. And now your coworkers don't like to be around you like that. And ever since he realized that, he stopped listening to the news to go to work. And he's had better days ever since. His coworkers, they all hang out now after work. And literally just that one little change from something so minuscule, you would think,
Yeah.
but it really affected his life in a
because it's a
drastic way.
frequency at the
Yes,
end of the
exactly.
day.
Like, yeah, it's the news, but the news, they're not promoting nothing.
Yeah,
healthy.
yeah, yeah.
They're not
It's
promoting
not
nothing
gonna
positive.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's sensationalism and they're trying to get you riled up.
Exactly, exactly.
You know, and yeah, so that's the news. It's the same. It's the same principle where you listen to stuff and it will change your mood. It'll change the way you react to other people. You walk, and I mean, also understand the laws of attraction. I mean, if you are out there walking around like with that "I wish a nigga would" type of mentality, and guess what, a nigga would. Like eventually, a nigga would. Like, but that's what you're walking around looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can't walk around looking for that and attracting that energy to you. That's what you're going to bring to you. So it's like
it could be used so much more powerful. Like this thing, you could actually I feel like hijack yourself in a way through music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like say you're in the gym and you want to do an extra set, but like you listening to some slow pace, some R&B, you're not gonna want to do the extra set.
Nah.
But say you put on some bow, you might want to do that extra
set. You need that extra.
Yeah, it's like, but you need to know how to like do it in moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's understanding what you need and finding that balance and that vibration that affects you the right way. And that's why I tell people explore other vibrations of music, explore other vibrations, period. And I'm not talking about just music. Explore the vibrations of the people you keep around you in your circles. Like
what you eat.
Like all these things are vibrations, and you need to explore different avenues, to explore different ways to and see how it affects your body. Just take a time and be like, you know what, for a week I'm gonna do something different, and let me just see how I feel.
I did that with jazz music.
How'd you feel?
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like I was in a sitcom sometimes. So I'll be like on the bus listening to jazz music. I'm like, ooh, this is different.
It feels it
feels very different.
Yeah.
But it also like made me feel relaxed.
Right.
Especially like coming off of work sometimes, rush hour.
Yeah.
I could feel so tense, you know?
Yeah.
Just finishing a shift and then it really brings me down.
Yeah. I have like certain songs that I listen to like that like really put me in a certain space. When I work out, actually, it's really weird. People, I work out actually like technically it's called classical music, but it's not. It's like classical music, but it's like soundtracks, like Hans Zimmer, like Pirates of the Caribbean, or like a Batman soundtrack, superhero shit.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm not even into
I get it.
stuff like that, but it's that music, it vibrates and hits you in that way where it's like you just feel like you have superpowers to do anything you want. Like, so when I know I need to push another set, I know I'm going straight to that Batman soundtrack because I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I'm going ham with it. But again, it's just different vibrations can open different doors and make you feel different ways, and it affects your whole life. It affects the way you think,
Mm-hmm.
the way your
I
body
had
heals, everything.
also heard somebody talking about like how it's good to have classical music on when you're studying because you can
Yeah.
retain more of the information.
Just like last night, though, you were playing a set, and I think it was saying like, "I love myself. I love myself."
Oh yeah, and that was the first time he had lyrics the whole time we were there.
Well,
I don't
see,
know,
that's
like
No,
no,
he
it was
played another
it was
song
beats,
that had-
right? When we first came in, right? It was
Yeah.
straight beats, no
Yeah.
lyrics. But the first lyrics that I heard was "I love myself."
But back to that, the more that the song kept playing, it's like it would go into different songs, but you still could hear that. And I felt like for
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
personally, the more that I kept hearing it, the more I kept repeating it, and the more that I was really getting into it, like,
Yeah.
I love myself. Mhm.
That's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, that's that comes down to the the art of mixing and trying to make sure that like when you have a message in the music, there's not a lot of words when it comes to Afro house and Afro tech. I like to put certain words in some of my songs on purpose, but those words will always have a meaningful purpose to it, and you can take it with you and you'll repeat it. Like you said, you'll repeat
Yeah.
it over and
Yeah.
over, and you'll hear it on different frequencies. You'll hear it because I want
Mhm.
it to hit you on every frequency, not just one. I
Mhm.
want it to hit you, and hit all your chakras. I want it to hit you everywhere. I want you to feel it. I want you to take it with you. I want you to wake up the next morning and be like, yo, what was that?
It's
Like,
funny because if you had like a transcript of all the lyrics that we heard last night, and then we'll see why we feel like this today.
Yeah, because I still remember when it was your set, you started with, you didn't start it, but in the midst of it, it was the Beyonce.
oh yeah,
I
yeah.
set the bar, and I love that
Yeah.
song because of the message that
Yeah,
she's
the
saying.
The
messaging.
message
Like,
is,
she-
Yeah.
that girl.
Yeah.
yeah. I try to make sure that I have a thing. So if Descendants of Sound, shout out to Christina Starr and AQ. Those are the homies, and we've been doing this for a while. And I have this thing where it's like, I love to give my voice and give take people on a journey and things like that. But I feel like it's very important as people to understand a Black woman's perspective and let her take you on a journey, because that's the root of all creation. Like, we come from Black women. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, they have
Period.
that's just where it is. Like, the creative
Yeah.
all beings,
Period.
whatever. We can get into the chromosome or whatever it is that
Yeah.
Black women have. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, come on, let's be real. But anyway, I feel like it's very important to let a Black woman tell her story. Like, Black women should be like what y'all doing right now. Like, tell the story. Y'all create the narrative, tell the story. I think it's very important because we all come from that. And so in those the messages that you get from them,
Yeah.
I'd be like, dang, like sometimes I'd be feeling like I really be hearing my ancestors. I really be hearing my ancestors when they play. I'd be like, damn, like I have a good time. Like, I putting things together and things like that. But I'm telling you, when they play, I be hearing my ancestors talking to me. Like, it really takes me to another place. I be hearing the same teachings I get from my mom in that
Yeah.
music. Like, it really takes me to another place where I'm just like, okay, like, I feel I move forward positively in life, just hearing that stuff and getting that message from them. But again, we all deserve to be heard. We all deserve to have our message heard. And
Mhm.
I feel the way to do it, my message is, to give people or open the door for people to find this healing. So yeah, I want you to love yourself. I want you to walk around every day with your head held high saying, I love myself, because whatever the hell you're going through, saying that and
Yes.
being positive about,
Yep.
whatever it is, and knowing you can get through it. There's a song called Here With Me that I love to play. He said, as long as you're here with me, Baba, nothing can, like, who can be against me? Like,
Mhm.
nobody can stop me.
Period.
It's like, yo, you really have ancestors at your back every moment of every day, pushing you forward. And as long as you find a way to tap into that, there's no stopping where you can go and what you can be. You can do anything you want.
Mm.
We just need to block some of that negative stuff that the man has told us we had to listen to, because we don't
Yeah.
run the music industry and we don't promote the music that we hear that they tell us is top music. We don't promote that. They do. And they tell us, yo, this is the hot music. You need to listen to this every day.
Mhm.
And it's not a Black man telling you that. And it's not a Black woman telling you that. to listen to this music every day, and they're pumping this music into our neighborhood,
Mhm.
into our heads, into our brains, into our
I don't know
kids.
if you watched the show Who Cloned Tyrone, the movie.
Man, you know, some people been telling me to watch it. And
It's a crazy part in the movie where they have like this music playing, and it is just like passing through a concert, and his friend just stops because they're trying to like get to somewhere, and then his friend just stopped, and he just stands there and just stares at the stage, and he's like, "Yo, let's go, let's go, let's go," and he's like, "Damn, I don't even like this song," and he's just there, just standing there. And it just was so deep, the messaging in there. It's like sometimes like you got the radio on and you just like there like in like a docile state. You're like, wait, why do I know the lyrics to this?
Yo,
you know what I mean?
You know, you be driving and you like, you don't even really, you get somewhere and you be like, damn, I don't even remember driving.
Yeah, sometimes I
Yeah.
be walking and I don't even be realizing.
Damn, I don't
Wait, how
well,
I
it's the
got
same
here?
thing because you're doing that and the music's playing. You're not paying attention to what you're hearing,
Yeah.
but your subconscious is picking
It's-
it up,
Yep, picking up everything.
and that's what you're gonna move on.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm telling you, like, it's important to try to find music with a positive message, music that's trying to get you, move you in a positive direction. It really affects so much more than we think.
Yeah.
And so with these events, I want people to come in and just get ushered in a direction that's positive, uplifting. I want you to leave higher. Like I want you to leave out floating, like on high. When you
I think a lot of that is because I feel like most of the people in that event or who do listen to that type of music and like resonate to like events like yours, they know themselves. You know, I feel like a lot of people who are lost, they're so easily impressed when they hear something.
Yeah.
And then they just want to kind of like be a part of like the group, you know?
Word, yeah.
Like, you don't know this song? Oh, nah, like.
Yeah, you should know this. You don't know
Yeah,
the
you
lyrics?
should
know the
know
dance
this.
to this. You
like,
gotta know the
what?
dance. You
Yeah.
And it's like so uncool if you don't like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you spend your time trying to figure out the lyrics. I remember when I was a kid, man, I used to write out the lyrics to the rap songs. Like I gotta know the
You
lyrics
know,
to this.
facts.
Like
When I was a kid, it was Nicki. You had to know Nicki.
yeah, you had to. Back in my day, it was same thing. It was just writing down the lyrics, written, like yo, who is this? And I go to school and rapping somebody else's lyrics.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I know it too. Cool. So now but it's taking in the stuff in the subconscious something different.
Yeah.
Like, it's really
But we think it's so harmless. We're like, oh, we just
yeah, and everything we're taking is so
especially as a child
subconsciously.
too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As a child, you're so
I'm telling y'all,
easily
you got your
impressed.
kids in the car. Pay
They're
attention to the music your
soaking-
kids are listening to because I'm telling you, you just driving thinking about whatever you got going on in your life and that music playing in the background, your kids are absorbing every word of everything they're listening
Next
to.
thing you know, he's talking about make me sweat.
But you know what? I think that is so powerful that you call your music descendants of the sound.
Yeah, I mean, it's really where it's really, it really captures what I feel like. This music is the music that our ancestors left for us.
And especially that too, because you say you're from Caribbean descent as well,
Yeah.
Guyanese. And if anybody who knows Caribbean culture, carnival, that's a big thing.
Mhm.
And the
big.
history of carnival literally is us not being able to play music. That's
Right.
exactly how carnival
Exactly.
it was created. So descendants of sound, like all of that, like it's so
And that's
powerful.
why we incorporate all of that into it because this is our chance to be free. I mean,
Literally.
honestly, it's our chance to be free and to be heard. And I guarantee you, there will be people out there who will try to stifle you, who will try to take from you, who will try to steal from you. I'm not naming names, but there are people out there who will do stuff like that.
Yeah.
With Descendants of Sound, people have tried it.
Yeah.
Because they knew they couldn't take away our rhythm, like you said before.
They can't take away the true
So they try to
authenticity of what we do.
Exactly.
They'll try to copy us. They'll try to emulate us. The man will try to buy us out. Record labels will try to buy you out and be like, yeah, so I like what you're doing. Do it under us, and then let us direct it and tell you how to do it and control how you do it and control who hears what you do. But they're not. They're making you feel like, oh yeah, this is a good paycheck. But they're giving you that paycheck at what cost? They're gonna now move you to another market. Now they're moving you. It's like, okay, you're no longer gonna be heard in any urban area. We're gonna take all this good healing music you got here, and we're gonna keep it over here for us.
Yeah.
And my people gonna be good with this, and we're gonna appropriate your healing for us. And we don't get an opportunity, and that's why I'm telling you, I spend a lot of time, and I feel bad that I do it, but I have so much time. I spend so much time trying to get our people to just feel this vibration just one time. Just one
Mm-hmm.
time. Just come through one time.
Mhm.
Listen to Afro House one time. Like really like think about the way you felt when you watched Black Panther the first time and you seen them in Wakanda.
Yeah.
That's a
Like,
good comparison.
That's
like
a great
think about that
comparison.
and just
Mhm.
understand that like there's actually like a way you could feel that like for real, like in real life. Like you're not gonna be on a spaceship, but you might feel like you on a spaceship.
Yeah.
Like I
Mhm.
promise you there's a way, but you just gotta come and get that. Like
And be
get
open-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real. It's real. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. I did come in open minded, but I'm very like I'm very stuck in my ways when it comes to music. So it was very big for me to even be there last night because like I'm like, damn, there's no Vibes Cartel. Nobody's skinning out their poom.
well, see, I
But
gave you
it was refreshing to
I gave
see
you
a
Gage.
different.
I gave you Gage
Yeah,
last
you
night.
did. You did.
I did give you Gage. So I'm trying to tell you, and that you are the audience that I'm trying to reach. I want you to no, seriously.
No, I know.
Like I will play a little something that you're used to,
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
want to hear, but I'm just to bring you in.
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna hit you with that other stuff.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
hope that you leave knowing that you got something new to put
Yeah.
into your playlist now. Like
For sure.
you got something new to listen
Yeah.
to and add to it. Like not telling you not to listen to
Oh
it.
yeah, I was back there shazamming. Shazam.
Look, I want you guys to just take that stuff with you and just spread the word, give it to other people, let other people hear that, play it out loud and be proud about it. And if anybody asks you about it, just be like, give it a chance. Like just
Yeah.
and house music is Black music. I promise you. We started it. It's ours. We just need to take it back. That's it.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I always like appreciated the power of like lyricism,
Yeah.
especially like growing up like in a Jamaican household,
Mhm.
listening to Bob Marley and like hearing Bob Marley now. Like I didn't really pay attention to it as a kid, but like hearing the lyrics now is
Yeah.
so timeless and it's so like it just makes me feel like, you know, empowered. Like
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
you know?
You have people.
And I kind of feel even more empowered when I hear Afro House, only because the lyrics is not there, but I still get that feeling.
You still get the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think throughout history we've had people who've been able to give us messages through music, positive messages through music that we haven't really paid attention to say like, oh, this is positive, like,
Yeah.
or how
Mhm.
positive it is. Because again, you listen to Bob Marley all your life, and it's not till you recently or got older you like, oh wow, like he was speaking some real like,
Yeah.
Just like India Ari too.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
now, older, listening to her, I'm like, wow.
yeah, the stuff she was
Yeah.
talking, yo,
It was so positive. Like she speaks so much about like being in a positive mindset and healing.
yes,
Yeah.
But you see what happens to people like that. You
Exactly.
see what they do.
And it's so like, ugh.
We need to, and we as people need to do better to keep them relevant.
Protect-
Yeah.
We need to make sure we keep
Yep.
them, we have to protect them and not let other people shit on who they are and what
Yeah.
they do and
Their art.
messages.
But that's why it's so important for like ownership.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
yeah. It's definitely important. You got to be
Mhm.
careful about who you keep in your circle. Again, that vibration of what you want around your work. Like me personally, I'm producing an album and I have no one working on my album that I just don't trust with my message or trust with this vibration. I'm not bringing that energy anywhere near the studio when I'm in there. Like we saging that joint out before and we getting it ready and I need to clear it out. Like I need to make sure that the energy and the vibes, and that's the same thing with the events. I want to make sure that the vibes and the energy in there are safe for all of us to go in there and be yourself and be free. And so we try to make sure that vibration of we're not bringing anybody else in there that has that, and you don't want people owning it that have that either. So you got to be careful about who you letting. People can come at you with a fat check and it's going to look real nice and you'll be like, yeah, this is the dream. This is what I do it for. And if you're doing it for that, then you're not doing it for the right reason.
Yep.
If you're doing it and letting somebody buy you out, they're buying your spirit.
Say that again.
Don't let them do that to you. Like they will take that from you and they will
sell your soul.
Yeah.
They're selling your soul. They will buy your spirit and you'll be in slavery to them for a minute because you can't. There's no way to pay back an advance check. I'll tell you that now. That's a trap. Like you're not paying that back. They got you.
It's like they got a hold of your energy, basically, your power.
Mhm.
They putting your power in a cage.
What do you think is more important, lyricism or like the beat?
I say the beat.
So, I think it's combined,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why I say this is you can have music like you heard music last night without any words in it, and you still got a message.
Yeah.
You still felt something.
Yeah.
Or I'll play music that speaks that's in a language that you don't even understand. They're speaking in Zulu the whole time, or Afrikaans the whole time. You don't know what they're saying, but you get them. But you get it.
You feel the message.
You get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but then also, the beat the vibration can do that. So it's not the lyrics and it's not the beat; it's the vibration that they meet together. So yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. I don't think one takes precedence over the other. It's the vibration.
Me, I'm the type of person, like, if the song, like, if the beat is good, I don't care what they're saying.
Me too. That's dangerous.
But yeah, when I said that out
Me
loud.
too.
But then again, I don't listen to just any type of music. Like, I pay attention to the things that I listen to.
When you turn on the radio and you ride and you don't hear it.
I don't listen to the radio though.
When you in the store and the music playing, you don't know. You just sitting there vibing. And the beat still, this is dope. What he talking about? And then you hear it and you're like, damn, oh, that's crazy. It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
It happens to all of us. For a while, you know what song I really liked? And I'm not even ashamed to say this.
What?
Who Wants Smoke by Nardo Wick. Yo, dude.
What the fuck is
yo,
that?
that was let me tell you. Yo, let me tell you something.
That
track right there, I'm not even gonna hold you.
That beat go hard.
That. So that beat went hard.
That beat went
stupid. It went hard, but then I'm like listening to it, I'm just like, And then I started paying attention to what I was doing when I was listening to it, and I was like, I'm like, okay, how can I change that?
Yeah.
And to praise or celebrate. And so I made it. Yeah. I actually made an Afro House remix to that track because I love it so much with that beat. I was like, man, Afro House beats just as hard. So we can do that. That's an easy flip. Like, boom, flip that. And like you can have that same energy that you got, but it's more positive leaning.
Oh my gosh. Your remix,
and it's literally the same song.
Go crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know how to remix a song to the point that it's wait, this is a real song?
Like you basically create a whole new song.
Yeah.
I think it's important. I'm telling you, we can take a song and I will find that the certain parts of it, and if I feel a certain vibration from a song, and I'm like, oh, I could work with this, then I'm gonna go all in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go all in, and I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna elevate that to a point where it's gonna take you to a new place. With something something you've heard before. I want it to be something. I want you to come in and get your vibes, but I want you to also get it on at a different vibration. I think that's where I want to do. Like, I want you to feel get that same message in a different vibration. Like, there's different interpretations to everything.
Yep.
I want you to interpret the same thing you've been listening to through a different vibration and see where that takes you, because it's going to be completely different. But I'm not telling you to alienate what you come from or who you are or what you like to listen to. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just telling you to try to understand it on a different vibration and see what that does to you. You know, open yourself up to the new, something new.
And that's so powerful.
Radical inclusivity through music. Like, I want everybody to come through.
I think it's kind of like playing defense in a way, because I feel like music has been weaponized. So to kind of shift that perspective and actually, like I said, like, re-engineer your mind
and be intentional
through music
about it.
Yeah.
And to help it like manifest through like affirmations, like I love myself.
Very intentional.
Yeah.
Like, you know what song I love? That song with Gunna and Victor, that Afrobeat song.
I'm a Blessing.
Manifest, as talks about
Blessings. His name is Victor Thompson.
Yeah.
Blessings.
But anyways, I like listening to like I listen to that song every day now, and I really like feel it when I listen to it. Like, it's a kind of like a way to do affirmations in a fun way. You know what I mean?
That's super important. That's super important to do, to be able to do your affirmations through the music and attach it to those vibrations.
Exactly.
Where it's going to affect you and hit you deeper and in your core,
Mm-hmm.
where it's going to change the way you move throughout your day with those affirmations, where you're walking around saying, I love myself, you know. That's very important.
And that's stuck in your head
And
instead
so
of
this song,
well,
that's exactly what they're doing with that. They're
Mhm.
giving you a great message and a vibration that's gonna resonate with you throughout the day, and
Yep.
it's supposed to be catchy and it's stuck in
Yeah.
your head,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
you're walking around saying it,
Mhm.
being blessed,
Every day.
that's a beautiful thing,
Mhm. And how do you think like the oversaturation of the music industry has affected this type of messaging
It's just
like Afro
it's harder
House?
to get to.
Mhm.
It's harder to get to. It's harder to find it. There's a
Mm.
huge gentrification of Afro House right now. People are taking it and making it. I mean, I think everybody should be able to celebrate any kind of music, but
Mhm.
it's being gentrified to the point where like there's people who truly do this from their soul,
Yeah.
and people who really do this with the ancestors, and they're not being heard. They're not getting a chance right now, and it's sad. Like I listen to a lot of artists who I'm like, man, every time this person would drop something, I would hear about it. It was dope, and now I don't hear about them dropping
Why does
something.
that always happen?
But
I feel
it's
like the Afro beats genre is slowly being gentrified as well, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, oh,
And
it is.
like when I first came across Afro beats, it felt like Afro beats. Like I felt the essence. I
Mhm.
felt, like even though I didn't know what they were saying, it made sense. But now, like I feel like they're trying to translate it, make it more digestible for like the Americans.
Yeah.
And
With
Yeah.
the edge, I hate when they put Ed Sheeran on a goddamn Afro song. Oh my!
yeah, it
that
throws
be-
me off so much.
That irritates me so much.
Yeah.
Because it's like to know the history of how far we've
And then the
came.
Justin Bieber thing got me
Like,
tight
and then
too.
you're gonna put a freaking colonizer on the
Yeah.
song. Like,
that's I understand that's exactly what I mean when I say the gentrification of it. They're gonna come in and they're gonna try
I
to
hate
take
that
it
for
from you.
us.
They're gonna take it from you.
They
They're
just
gonna try it.
commercialize everything.
It's all about money. They're trying to make the money off of it, and they realize like, oh, this is hot and people are liking it. So let's take this now and put a Bieber on there. And Bieber don't know jack shit about Africa,
Yo,
but
that
he
pisses
out
me
there,
off so
he out there
much.
on a track, and you can't even front. He probably sounds good on it. He probably
Yeah,
sounds
he
good on it.
does.
He probably
Especially when they
sounds good
put
on it.
Selena
You
on.
can't even front.
That
that's my
was good, and
kryptonite.
I was
sounds
I can't
good on it.
front. She is my kryptonite on Calm Down. But
It's not to say that
I
it's not to
still
say
don't
that
like it.
they're not good and they can't honor our music or anything like that. But I feel like when you're taking it away from us and not giving the opportunity to a true Afro beats artist or true Afro house artist or DJ or producer, and giving it to somebody who has no connection to the ancestors and no connection to this music, and they're not doing this from the soul, that energy is woven into the music. That capitalist energy is woven into the
Yeah.
music,
Mm-hmm.
not the true vibration that you want. When we do this music, the true Afro house, the true Afro tech, the true people who connected to the ancestors and really do this with the real true meaning behind, like really want to help people heal through this. We are weaving that into the music.
Yeah.
And so you're listening to it, you're not paying attention to it, and you're not hearing it, and you're hearing the lyrics, and the lyrics might even sound nice, and the singer sounds great and got great tone.
Mm-hmm.
But what's woven into that music is, I'm doing this so I can make this money. I'm doing this so I
The
can.
energy
And why
don't
can't
lie.
they just create their own genre where if they're inspired by that type of music, they can make their own spinoff, but it doesn't have to be within the same
It's
genre.
not gonna sound good. It's not
I
gonna
know,
sound
but
good.
it's better than trying to capitalize
Nobody wanna
off
hear
of.
It's not gonna sound good. It's just not gonna sound good. I mean, it's not. It's gonna be.
It's some BS.
But yeah, so I just really hope that people get the message that, pay attention to what you're listening to, give some new stuff
Yeah.
a chance. And if you're open enough to listen to classical music or jazz randomly, give Afro House a chance, give Afro Tech a chance.
For real.
It can change your life for real.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like also because like we're in a new age, it's easier to access all this just anything. Like music is at
It's there.
it's at
It's
our
there.
fingertips. So that also should make us like I feel like that's what also makes us like give us an excuse not to care,
Right.
Because it's so easily
accessible.
easily
Yeah.
accessible.
But it as just as easy as it is accessible, it is just as easy for the wrong
Yeah.
vibrations and messages to get to you
Yeah.
and to affect
Yeah.
I feel concerned for the youth sometimes because I'm like, they're singing these songs on the radio and it still sound like they should not be singing these songs.
Yeah.
It's like, even though they put their little like bleeps or little clean versions, it still sounds crazy
Still the
what's
same
coming up.
message.
Talking about, I got murder on my mind. You know how much these
Yeah,
kids I
That's
heard
crazy.
saying, like,
That's
singing that.
wild.
I'm like,
That's wild.
And
What?
your words have spells.
yeah.
yes.
Good morning, good night. Those are spells.
Yo,
Why would you
that's-
want to be good and mourn?
That's wild.
Yeah,
To
that song
understand that,
song
like-
was mainstream playing a lot, and I've heard little kids talking about, I got murder on my mind. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a couple minutes.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like we hit all the hot topics. Let me see if there's anything else in my notes that I would like to talk about. Is there anything on your mind you want to get off?
Who,
Let
me?
people know.
I feel like I kind of did that. I feel like you guys gave me an opportunity to kind of express myself, and I appreciate it. I
Yes.
really got a chance to. I would say, check out Descendants of Sound, or I am Vic on IG, and come check me out because we definitely got some great things going on, great music, and I'm always curating a vibe that's going to help you.
Heal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grow.
Big
Your best
vibe
self.
curator.
Yes.
Be the goddess and god that you are.
Yes.
Descendants of sound.
Yes.
Descendants of sound.
Don't let it go over your head.
Yes.
You get me? All right. Thank you for listening to another episode. Oh my God. You made it to the end. Like, you love yourself. Like, oh my God. I'm so excited for you. And thank you again for joining me, Jay.
Thanks for having me.
Link in the description for anybody who's interested in knowing more about Jay. I know you have a playlist as well, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to put that.
Spotify.
So y'all know, like, I could introduce you to Afro House. If you've never heard of it, Jay will introduce you to it in his
Get
playlist down below.
tuned.
Link in description. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Thank you. And have a great rest of your day, wherever you are in the world. Oh, and tell them about your mother and your mother. That it's mind over matter, baby. Yeah.
Okay. That was great.
That was